So hi everyone, my name is Fahadi Maon from BSHM 3B. So our research title is about stress management of hotel employees. So guys, stress has become a major buzzword and legitimate concerns of the times. We all have stress, of course. It is with throughout our lives. Everyone experiences stress at one time or another. So sometimes when we hear the word stress, when we hear the stress word, we think of the negative impact it can have. But not all stress is bad. Do you agree with that? Not stress is all bad. Diba? So stress can motivate us to get things done or create change. And of course, stress is simply the body. And I think it's non-specific response to any demand made on it. Okay? So always remember guys that stress provides the means to express talent and energies and pursue happiness. So just remember the word stress is not bad. Okay. So our theoretical framework is that this study is anchored from occupational stress in the hotel employees. This article endeavors to draw attention to occupational stress amongst workers in so-called low-risk industries. So now is for the conceptual framework. There will be two sets of variables in this study. First is the dependent and of course the independent variables. The independent variables will include the stress management. So our statement of the problem is that this study aimed to determine the employees' motivations and stress management and human resource in the city hotels. Okay? Specifically, it desires to answer the following questions. So the first question is that, what's the most stressful situations you've faced at work so far? Okay, number two question is, how do hospitality industries deal with stress? So number three, how did you handle it? How did you handle stress, especially when you are working in hospitality industry? Number four is that, how do you prevent a situations from getting too stressed to manage? Number five, the last is, what advice would you give to calm down a colleague who's stressed out about a deadline? So our null hypothesis is employee stress is significant issues in the hospitality industries. It is costly for employees or employers and employees alike, although addressing and reducing stress is both noble goal and is capable of resulting in expense reductions for employers. The nature and quantity of a hospitality employees' stress is not fully understood. The significance of our study is that this study is relevant for the following reasons. Okay, for the first is that hotel owners, this study will provide them a lot of strategies to make their business productive with the existence of the stress management of the employees. So our scope and the limitation of the study is the study will focus on the hotel establishments and its owners within Iligan City at experiencing stress management conducted by the hospitality management students in MSU MSAT from 2021 to 2022. So I think our research title is very easy to understand, and I think stress all of the employees and employers in hospitality industries are experiencing stress.
Good evening, ma'am. So today I'm going to explain the chapter 2, which is the review of related literature of the study. So this chapter presents a related literature of the study and that are existing and have bearing to the study. Related literature in studies suggests that the meaning of the term stress creates a negative impact to a hotel employee. Stress can increase pressure and inappropriate demands. Stress affects the ability of an individual to cope, or rather, it would be correct to put forward as it affects the perception of an individual. Concept of employee's performance. Employee's performance can decrease stress in an employee, and by that, employees can gain his confidence back and reduce his lack of self-esteem. According to GAC 2020, there is no simple definition of employee's performance. Opines that employee's performance can generally be defined as all the behavior employees engage in a while at work.
The research methodology. These chapters details the various research methodologies that are used in study. This comprises the research design, research environment, respondent of the study, sampling procedure, data gathering procedure, research instruments used, and statistical treatment of the data. Research design. Research design is a blueprint of research. It can be compared with the plan of a house, which lays down the methods and procedure for the collection and information. It is measurement and analysis with a view of arriving in a certain meaningful conclusions at the end of the proposed study. Before selecting the research design, researcher has to take proper care to deal with the two issues. First, it must be the research question, and the second, result of the study can be generalized. In this study, researcher was interested in knowing the characteristic of employee working in hotels and to determine their attitude toward training development. Research environment. This study will have its setting in Lanao del Norte, the province which falls under jurisdiction of the Region 10, which include the provinces of Camiguin, Bukidnon, Misamis Oriental, Misamis Occidental, and the Lanao del Norte. Respondents of the study. The respondents will be gathered all hotel employees to identify the level of stress. Stress due to changing of a workplace, sources of stress at work, and provides a stable suggestion to reduce it. The management can reduce the stress among the employees through conducting various programs like vocational tours, cultural programs, sports, classes for yoga and meditations, meeting and counseling. Sampling procedure. This study used random sampling in determining the samples of the study by the use of how many employees of hotel-related and stress management in their workplace. It examines the level of stress in management among city hotel.
Table 1. Distribution of respondents. The respondents of Iligan City and the total population in a sample. For the selected respondents in Iligan City, there are the employees for Plaza Alemania, the employees of Maria Cristina, and also the business owners in Iligan City. And for the total population, the selected respondents in Iligan City is 28 and the sample is 18. Employees for Plaza Alemania is 50. The employees for Maria Cristina Hotel is 50 and the sample is 35 and 35. So for business owners in Iligan City is 2 and the sample is 2 for the total of 130 and the 99 per sample. To explain our research, the part chapter 3, research instrument use. The research instrument use on our research: stress management of hotel employees are interviews and questionnaires. By taking responses from respondents, stress can be defined as a reaction to stimulus that disturbs our mental balance. It has existence in everybody's life nowadays. Scoring procedure. The scoring procedure assesses the respondents' responses and the questions specific in the research instruments using a 4-point Likert scale for part 1 and 2, which will deal with the respondents' assessments of the strategies in terms of sustaining salability amidst a pandemic. The following represents the scores, ranges, and descriptions are interpretations which will be used in the discussions of the data gathered. For the table 1, we have score, range, description, and interpretation. There are 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in a range of 1 is 1 to 1.99. The description is not effective, and the interpretation, very low level of effectiveness. Second, the range is 2 to 2.75. The description is somewhat effective, and the interpretation is low level of effectiveness. Third is 2.75 to 3.50. Description is effective. The interpretation is high level of effectiveness. And the last fourth is 3.56 to 4. So the description is very effective and the interpretation is very high level of effectiveness. Table 1 also, there are same in the score, range, description, and interpretation. We have same score, same range, and same description. There is different description and interpretation. So first is strongly disagree. The interpretation is completely disagree. And second is disagree. The interpretation is slightly disagree. The third is agree, and the interpretation is mostly agree. And the fourth is strongly disagree. The fourth is completely agree. Okay. Data gathering procedure. In data gathering process, the total number of hotel employees and business owners will be concentrated as the basis for determining the required number of respondents of the study. An approval to conduct the said data gathering will be secured that first through a written request addressed to the LGU and further assistance in informing the respondents the purpose of the study. Statistical tool use. The following statistical tools were used to analyze the data gathered to answer the problems stated in the study. First, in the problem, frequency count and percentage mean will be used in determining the following. First is the level of assessment is sustaining salability. Second is the level of assessment of approaches and strategies in terms of employability and entrepreneurship. Third is the basis of approaches and strategies in terms of employability and entrepreneurship.